3, 2, 1. Welcome to The Young and the Restless. I'm Andrew.
I'm Brian.
I'm Nick.
And happy 4th of July.
Oh, I keep forgetting it's 4th of July.
Years flying by.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Remember on Thursday when we went to the arcade and the power went out, and then we were all like, yeah, let's just go on Sunday, and I was like, I think I have to do something on Sunday.
And celebrate our nation. That's what it was.
By watching the Great American Bash.
Yes. Fuck that arcade, but I am going back because they gave us free bowling.
Bowling, yeah.
And we took a photo in front of the WWE machine with a flash on, with the power out, when the power was out, but I couldn't think of anything funny to caption it as. So I think when the Thunderdome closes, expect a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you've got it in you.
Yeah.
The writer's strike is ending in your head.
Yeah, I just have writer's block for a little bit. But anyways, so what should we talk about first? Should we talk about breaking news?
Breaking news. Why not?
Breaking.
The Patriot, also known as Del Wilkes, passed away on June 30th. R.I.P. He was my favorite wrestler to post on 4th of July.
Oh, really?
I would post one of him like doing like a top rope move, and I would just be like, "Don't blow off any fingies."
So, what was he known for? Because I thought it was Mr. Patriot at first.
No,
or was it Mr. America? Hulk
Hogan was Mr. America.
America.
So this was, he was in the AWA, and then the WWF for a year. And which he was known as the Patriot, so he was like just like a middle card, like he wore like a luchador mask that was like red, white, and blue, had like a gold eagle on his trunks. And
he was always a like an American gimmick. His AWA persona was the trooper. He was like a state trooper or something like that. Like he was like a. Was
he white?
Yeah.
Yes.
Weird that he wore a mask. I feel like at that time, like if you're a white dude wearing a mask, it's pretty. Normally you're Hispanic, right?
I mean, look at Sami Zayn.
Love it.
El Generico.
I mean, everyone thought that he was Hispanic.
Yeah.
Because of his moveset.
Oh, was he a high flyer too?
Yeah. He was like a high flyer, did like a lot of arm drags.
But also his name, El Generico.
Oh, wait.
Oh, no. I thought you were talking about...
I thought we were talking about the Patriot.
The Patriot.
Yeah. No, but El Generico, yes.
Oh, I was talking about Sami Zayn.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, but yes, they both did. Sami Zayn and the Patriot both had like kind of luchador style.
No, Patriot was very much a white man from South Carolina.
Yep.
Where they're really white.
He was an All-American football player, which is, I guess, kind of where the American thing started.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
They love pushing that. Because I realized in Great American Bash, like, they brought up that Ric Flair played like fullback in college. That Ricky the Dragon Steamboat played fullback in college.
Well, most
that
wrestlers were at one point NFL players.
Hold on. And then when Brian Pillman was in the opening match for the King of the Hill and the second match, they brought up that he played for the Cincinnati Bengals twice. Yeah.
He played for him twice. Well, he got dropped at one point.
No, they brought it up twice.
Oh.
Yeah.
You were saying he played for him twice.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Well, the Patriot had a great physique. Did he die from a heart attack?
They said it was a heart attack, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like.
He was kind of big in the steroids thing. That came out that he was a big supporter of the steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I understand. Okay, I'm going to get controversial here.
Okay,
there you go.
Real quick.
You got it.
So, sorry. My brain is off.
It's morning. We're doing this earlier than normal.
So, controversial topic here. I understand that steroids are bad for your body. But if you're not using it outside of sports, if it's sports entertainment, why is it banned? Other than it just ends up with people killing themselves, like earlier.
That's why.
Okay. Answered my own question. Here we go, guys. Moving on.
Yeah, I think it's more like the mental aspects that...
Yeah. Like Chris Jericho. Or not Chris Benoit.
Jesus.
Yeah, sorry. Let me set this down.
Yeah, that's a morning beer.
Yeah. Okay.
Half a beer in. And
Yeah.
I don't know where I am.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So, yeah, the Patriot. R.I.P. Yeah, Wilkes died of a heart attack on June 30th, 2021 at the age of 59.
Yeah, he was young.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's nuts. So moving on, do you want to anything else about the Patriot?
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I mean, like, he was just a mid-card guy, but he did I mean, it was cool. He did some stuff.
His biggest matches in WWF were against the Brooklyn Brawler.
Well, I feel like him passing away got a lot of traction. I don't know if it's because it's around 4th of July or like...
I think it's because he was so young.
Maybe it's because he was
I mean,
so
he
young.
was a 2-time WCW tag team champion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, he does have some gold.
Was he well liked?
It seems like it.
Yeah,
like,
I mean...
From everything I could find.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'll ask Hulk Hogan when I meet him.
Yeah.
Did you like the Patriot?
He used anabolic steroids and cocaine during his career, starting with his college football days.
They all did.
You didn't in the 80s.
I don't know, man. During an interview, he discussed his career, steroid use, the Chris Benoit tragedy, and various other topics. Keir's last 2 questions involved saying goodbye to the fans and giving advice to youngsters in the wrestling sport. Wilkes urged young wrestlers to learn from our mistakes. He said that 50 people whom he once wrestled with in the wrestling sport were now dead. Wilkes appeared on episode 232 and 278 of Steve Austin's Show podcast. In 2015, his documentary Behind the Mask was released.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy. It reminded me of when Roddy Piper said, not to get like too depressing, but he said, I know I'm not going to live long because of like what I've put my body through. And he like said it in an interview. He's like, I'm going to die in my 50s. And then he did.
Most wrestlers do.
Yeah, dude,
It's
the ultimate
so crazy.
warrior. And then, I mean, now we know he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But he fucking essentially said that he was gonna die, that he, like, all this other stuff, and then the next day he went to bed and he didn't wake up. You know?
And that
crazy.
was the ultimate death.
Yeah, the ultimate release from life.
So let's get into happier things.
Okay, yeah. So
4th of July.
4th of July. When you think of the 4th of July, gentlemen, what do you think about?
Great American Bash.
Burgers.
I was gonna lead up to American Bash, but I also think of hot dogs and the hot dog eating championship. But
Baseball.
I think of the
America.
I think of the great fields of Hartford County and their horse farms, because that's how the Great American Bash 1989, subtitled The Glory Days, opens up.
What, really?
It's like a cold open, and it's like in this time in the beautiful lands of Baltimore, Maryland, and it's like,
and then they go to Hartford County?
No, and it's like a horse farm with like horses, and it's like only like the strongest will stand. The rebuilt city of the Inner Harbor, and like they talk about that because it was just rebuilt, and it's like, and in the ultimate Coliseum, and it's like the outside of the Baltimore Arena that is still exactly the same.
Yeah, they haven't changed anything.
35 years later. Like,
that's fucking
and then
ridiculous.
It was just, and then they're like, welcome everybody to the Great American Bash, like, I'm Jim Ross, like all this other stuff. But I thought it was funny that throughout the thing they talk about how if they run out of time, they're going to work with the cable companies to put it on cable TV if like their time slot ran out. And then also Jim Ross kept saying that this is the greatest selling pay-per-view of all time, and this will be the greatest wrestling video cassette tape sell of all time.
I'm gonna bet that those are inaccurate statements.
Yes.
It's actually kind of interesting you brought that up about the pay-per-view thing, because you'll find that on a lot of the older WCW and WWF pay-per-views, because you were only allotted so much time, or you had to pay for another an hour. Like, you couldn't just pay for whatever time you went over. You had to pay for another at least an hour time slot on the pay-per-view.
Jesus.
So that's why,
which was stupid amount of money.
That's why when you would watch like the later like Attitude Era like pay-per-views, they would be like, if you order WrestleMania, you get a free replay right afterwards. And that was so that they could buy 8 hours and make sure that like whatever they have to do will like get aired the first time, and then the replay will be the one that gets cut off.
And I'm sure the more hours you buy, the cheaper it is.
Yeah, but that's another thing that I found looking up Great American Bash.
That's crazy. Did they end up putting it on cable?
No,
or was this just like an empty promise kind of thing?
But the thing is too is that when you're watching it, it's one of those like lost like pay-per-views, because there's like whole sections where it like statics out. they have like overdubbed music on it and like stuff like that. So it's like it's highly edited, but at the same time it's like this isn't how it was aired live. But
Gotcha.
it wasn't back. It was just WCW didn't store their tapes. They didn't record everything like WWF did.
They didn't think it was going to be worth anything, probably.
Yeah, but I was still watching it. It was great. I had the Wikipedia up, and then I was watching it, and it seemed the cards matched up and everything. Like, it was still 3 hours. It was 2 hours and 55 minutes.
It's a good long pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Especially for WCW.
89, that was probably what? Maybe the second or third actual WCW pay-per-view?
It still wasn't billed as WCW. It was billed as the NWA.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah. Because it was produced by the National Wrestling Alliance, Jim Crockett Promotions.
Okay.
Yeah, but in 88, that's when World Championship Wrestling was a brand of NWA.
There's fireworks or someone's dead.
I believe WCW disbanded from NWA in like 90.
Okay.
And became a standalone thing.
It was still a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a product of it, kind of. Like, from my understanding, that WCW was like a show.
Right.
And that that Jim Crockett Promotions was. But when you think of WCW, you think of Jim Crockett Promotions, because essentially that evolved into WCW. Then again, WCW isn't my real forte. But at the same time, Great American Bash. It was took place July 23rd, 1989 at the Baltimore Arena in Baltimore, Maryland.
That is far after 4th of July.
Yeah. So the Great American Bash was something
3 weeks after
that the NWA did, where the first, I believe, 3, it was 85, 86, and 87, were like a tour. And it was called the Great American.
Yeah.
And it
Oh,
was
okay.
a tour that happened over July. And then 88,
And it was the exact same matches in every single city.
yeah, it was like literally
I guess if you
Disney
didn't
on Ice.
know. Oh, yeah, Disney on Ice. Nice.
So the other thing too is that 88 was also in Baltimore, and that was the first one, and then that was billed from AWA and NWA. So
Gotcha.
it was like a super card type deal. But yeah, 89 is what I watched because the internet said it was the best one.
What was the attendance?
Let me look it up here. 14,500.
That's
Just-
like what
it's a
you can
sellout,
put in.
yeah.
Yeah, and then like you're watching it, and so I got here. Let me pull up my notes here. I literally gasped when I saw that it was one, that it was in Baltimore, and that two, the opening. It was opening with a war game setup. So they're like, "Welcome to the sold out Baltimore Arena," and you see 2 rings set up, and I was like, "Oh shit, we're getting war games." And then it opens up with a King of the Hill Battle Royale. Swindle, do you know what these are?
Okay, so you've said it a few times, and I have no fucking clue.
Nick,
is
do you
it
know what
is it
this
like
is?
just a battle royal?
So it's 2 rings. And then I don't have everybody that was in it, but the Twin Towers, Dr. Death Steve Williams, who I never realized, I was like, I've never seen him wrestle, and I was like, oh shit, this is awesome. I'm finally getting to see one of the urban legends of wrestling, and it was but it was a stacked card, because you had Brian Pillman, you had the Twin Towers, which was Psycho Sid, and the weird culty guy from the 90s WWF that was based after Robert De Niro's character from Cape Fear.
Oh,
The proto,
yeah.
I have his name here. Dan Spivey.
Yeah.
Spivey. Mike IRS was there as Mike Rotunda. The guy that actually killed Benoit was there. The Booker, Dungeon of Doom guy.
Yeah.
Ed or Kevin Sullivan.
Kevin Sullivan, yeah.
Ed Sullivan.
Yeah, Ed Sullivan was there. Drew Carey. China. No, but it was.
So how do you do this King of the
So it's a
Hill?
battle royale. So you just have to go over the top rope. Your feet don't have to touch. So as soon as you're over the top rope, you're out. So it's 2 rings, and you have ring A and ring B. And what the goal is that everybody enters at the same time. And then if you get eliminated from ring A by going over towards ring B, so in between the 2 things, you get essentially a redemption round in ring B. So as you're eliminated, you get you get into Ring B, and then another Battle Royale starts. And then, so essentially what happened is that everybody went over, and then Brian Pillman eliminated himself. So it was him and Psycho Sid, and then Dan Spivey in the other ring. And then Brian Pillman goes to do like a drop kick on Psycho Sid, and he like ducks under the rope, and he flies over it. And then, so then he goes into Ring B with Dan Spivey, Mike Rotunda, and Brian Pillman, and then Dr. Death eventually was in there. Pillman gets eliminated, Rotunda gets eliminated, Dr. Death is doing stupid stuff, and then Dan Spivey eliminates him, so then he gets in, and then he's...
Spivey.
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 So the Twin Towers won, and then they're like, oh shit, like this tag team is going to go at it. Teddy Long, their manager, comes out and he goes, hold on, players, hold on. Comes out and he goes, Danny boy, come over here into this ring. And then I was like, oh shit, we're going to have an ambush. And then, nope. He's like, they've decided they're going to split the $50,000 cash prize right down the middle. And then it cuts to the background where, hold on. Let me get this guy's name. Got to make sure I have it right here. Where is he? The backstage interviewer. I forget his name, but he is the creepiest looking dude ever. Or he looks like the guy in the movie that's either the sweetest grandpa or the one that's going to kidnap your kids and kill them.
Like the granddad from Holes.
Probably.
That's too damn bad.
Yeah. So anyways, so he's doing an interview with Teddy Long. Teddy Long's talking about how he said he was the best and all this stuff, and the only thing I'm focused on is that he's holding an envelope that is obviously empty, and it has the old Baltimore Arena logo on it.
And so, that's what was supposed to have the cash?
Yeah, it was supposed to have a check for $50,000. It was a check for $50,000.
That was such a NWA thing to do, though. They always did like a purse.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I like that
and
idea.
It was awesome. Like it started out and I was like, this is awesome. And then Brian Pillman had a very great match against Bill Irwin. And then I actually, when I was watching it, it was a great match, but I didn't realize how athletic Brian Pillman actually was, like in his prime. Like,
oh yeah,
that was
he
great.
Was the shit.
And then the rest of the pay-per-view, honestly, like not much to write home about.
Really? That was it?
So Cornette won a tuxedo match against Paul Heyman. It was hilarious.
Oh my god.
Paul Heyman said a bunch of very rude stuff and cut a very, very good promo. Sting and Muta had a screw job double pin match for the TV championship. So Sting,
I'm surprised that's not a good match.
Sting was the champion. And then there was a double pin where Muta had both his shoulders and Sting's shoulders down. The ref counted to 2. Sting got his one shoulder up, and then Muta had both of his shoulders up, and then he counted to 3. So Muta grabbed the belt and ran off.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and this is Sting, Surfer Sting.
Yes. Also, I have to mention at this time I started cooking Nick's lunches for the next week. So that was this is when I switched from the TV to my iPad, and was watching it kind of on my iPad, more listening to it. And then we have Lex Luger coming out. Keep saying Baltimore instead of Baltimore. It was great.
That was probably a shitty match.
He has a match with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and his whole family came out, and then they had like this feud going into it where like Sting or Lex Luger got disqualified. So Lex is in this promo is saying that he had his lawyers there all day. So by the way, he's the WCW champion and
United States champion.
United States champion.
I was gonna say.
That guy. And then he had his lawyers there the whole time, writing up a contract where if it's not a no DQ match, he's not going to do it. So apparently Ricky the Dragon Steamboat didn't sign it. Lex Luger comes out. He's on his little plate thing that spins him around as he's like flexing. Comes down to the ring. Dragon says he didn't sign it. Lex Luger takes his belt and he's like, you got 30 seconds to sign it, pal. And then gets out and starts walking back up. Ricky the Dragon's like, no, I got this. And then he signed it, and then they started their match, and then it ended in a DQ. From Ricky the Dragon, the Steamboat, shoving the referee.
Sounds like a bullshit match.
Yep, and then that's when I stopped taking
Luger
notes.
was terrible.
Yeah.
His NWA run was horrendous.
So was that after Lex Express or before?
This before.
This is before, and then also Scott. I did have to mention. I forgot to mention this. Scott Hall is in the King of the Hill match with the blonde perm and blonde mustache, looking like a blonde
shit.
TA gun essentially, or
Magnum.
Magnum TA and the Magnum PI. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't realize, or I didn't realize, like 1989, like was before all the good shit happened. Like in my eyes, like all of the, WCW, NWO shit.
Yeah, I mean, and it was definitely way before a lot of the guys jumped to Vince.
WWF, yeah.
Because Vince was still just doing New York and like Massachusetts at this time.
So this was still WWF.
No, it was
this
WWF. It was like WrestleMania was going on.
WrestleMania was a thing. Rock and Wrestling Connection already had it, but this is when this is the tail end of like Hulk Hogan, Jake Roberts, like all that. Like now you have like the young guys at this point were like Bret Hart.
Okay.
Like so, yeah. This is like after they bought. Is this after they bought Stampede?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the very tail end of.
This is about
going into like the cartoon era.
Yeah, or this is like kind of like going in. I always saw this as going into like the new cartoon, like the end of the cartoon, starting like the new generation era.
Yeah.
Like we're getting into WrestleFest arcade machine territory.
Gotcha.
Stock. Like yeah. But anyways, yeah. So the next match was War Games match. It was fucking awesome. You had the Road Warriors,
right? Yeah.
The Road Warriors, the Midnight Express, and Dr. Death Steve Williams, with Paul Ellering and Jim Cornette, defeated the Fabulous Freebirds and the Samoan SWAT team, which is Samu and Fatu, with Paulie Dangerously.
So what, did everybody pull double duty?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean that was also an NWA thing. They did that a lot to build up the storyline going into the main event.
Yeah, because like in the opening match, you had like people from the Samoan SWAT team like going after like Dr. Death and stuff.
They would do storylines throughout it.
They actually knew how to tell stories within a wrestling match. Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, so it was just awesome, like seeing Dr. Death in that, like in a War Games match, which is like slowly like I hate that I was an idiot and thought that WWF was better when I was a kid. Should have just kept following Hank Hogan. Yeah, but anyways, so yeah, they won, and then Ric Flair defeated Terry Funk in a very good match. There's one point where Terry Funk tries to grab the railing and like break it off to like hit Ric Flair with it, and then he realizes like, oh, he's gonna get disqualified, and that was for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
So that was the main event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wild.
And it was 17
that seems like
minutes.
A short card.
So, hold on, the opening match was 10 minutes. The Brian Pillman match was 10 minutes. The Skyscrapers versus the Dynamic Dudes, which is Shane Douglas and Johnny Ace.
Johnny Ace
was 9 minutes.
Shane Douglas was back then?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Jim Cornette and Paulie Dangerously was 6 minutes and 22 seconds. The Steiner Brothers defeated the Varsity Club in a Texas Tornado match in 4 minutes and 22 seconds. Sting versus the Great Muta was 8 minutes and 40 seconds. Check these three out. Lex Luger and Ricky Steamboat, 10 minutes and 26 seconds. The War Games match was 22 minutes and 18 seconds.
Sounds
and the
about
Ric
right.
Flair Terry Funk match was 17 minutes. So that's like almost an hour right there.
Yeah, but didn't you said that the pay-per-view was 3 hours?
3 hours.
Yeah, but I'm just
What
saying.
the fuck did they do?
There's lots of promos and stuff like that. But I mean,
That's a lot of promos.
No, but like
That's
if you
2
had that,
hours of
that's
promos.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Yeah, you're right, man.
That's a lot. They must have had like Jim Ross talking the whole
Long
fucking
entrances,
time.
maybe.
Long entrances. Everybody had Ricky
Everybody
the
got
Dragon
an
Steamboat
entrance.
had a fucking like super long Undertaker style, like Triple H style entrance, where he's holding a remember those dragons that everybody wanted?
Komodo dragon?
Yeah, that everybody was like, those are illegal, but a buddy's uncle always had one in a fucking in a kiddie pool in the basement. It's just like whenever you go down there, talking from personal experience. Clem Burney represent. So
Not a bad pay-per-view.
yeah, Swin, you want to talk about 99?
Okay. On to
Or does that, Nick, do you have anything?
yeah,
to
do
say?
you have a Great American Bash?
Do I? I don't. I don't think I ever went to a Great American Bash. I went to a couple Super Brawls that were in
I
Baltimore.
went to Super Brawl
Ooh.
5, baby. Vader and Hank Hogan.
But yeah, so they stopped coming to Baltimore in like the early '90s, and then they didn't come back to like '96, and by '96 I was all in on WWF.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what happened, is that when WCW stopped coming here, that's when WWE kind of swept us up, because we're only 3 hours away from New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, so you can probably look it up, but I'm pretty sure for a very long time, WCW was coming to Baltimore every month.
Oh yeah, I remember house
and then
shows. And shit.
WWF would maybe come once every 3 months or so. And this is before they actually heavily toured, really.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, if you think about it, that's like, we're right below the Mason-Dixon line. Like, we are the state that, like, the top of our state is a flat line because that's the Mason-Dixon line. But it's, like, so funny that, like, we had these two things that were both, like, 4 hours away, just battling it out, like, in our home turf. Like, yo, ECW, like, you, like, Philly represent, like, you're only, like, 90 minutes away, like, that's cool, but, like, did you have fucking WWF coming to town and then followed by WCW the next week? Like,
Well, it's interesting, too, because Vince didn't have to tour as much as NWA did.
because he had TV deals.
He had the broadcast network, so everyone around the country could watch it. If you wanted to follow what was going on in NWA, you had to buy the magazines and go to the show when it ever came through.
Shit.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's crazy to think Vince was that ahead of his time.
Yeah.
That like he could pay wrestlers without.
without having to move them around.
Yeah.
And like what I was saying
Smart.
too is that like how WCW, if you like, when I went back to watch Super Brawl 5 to see if I could see myself in the crowd, you can't. You get like a
You can't.
you get a glimpse of my mom's one arm. But like with that one too, like even years ago when it was on the network, it would like there would be like a little thing like in the bottom that's like a portion of this like broadcast is like lost, or like it is being presented in like as original format as possible. And you have like big static breaks and like stuff like that, like overdubbed music, like
Wild.
yeah.
Actually, I have an interesting Patriot story. Not really a Patriot story. I have memory.
Okay.
It was one of the WCW pay-per-views. I was probably 6 or so. So it was probably a Super Brawl. And I really wanted a Vader mask. But my dad wouldn't buy me a Vader
I know this
mask.
story. You told us this story on tour once.
So my dad bought me a Patriot mask instead.
Why wouldn't he buy you a Vader?
I don't
mask?
think they had it. They ran out.
Oh, okay.
And I was really pissed off the whole show. But I wore it the whole time I was there. And there's a part... You can see me in the crowd. This 5-year-old wearing this stupid-ass Patriot mask. I was looking pissed off.
Like, you know, when kids wear Halloween masks, you tell them by their body language, like, how they're feeling. But the mask is, like, terrifying, but they're, like, underneath, like, that's what... I thought the last
That
time...
sucks.
It might be my high brain, but it was, like, for some reason, I thought you cried when he bought you the mask or something like that.
Oh, no doubt. I cried a lot as a kid. I sucked.
Dude, a Vader mask is way better than a Patriot
Right?
mask. I totally
Also,
get
I would
that.
assume the Vader mask is cheaper because it's less material.
Ooh,
The
he was
Patriot mask
probably
was weird because it
hot.
had the nose cut out. So it was odd.
Yeah.
I had like a remake like when I was like 18 of the Patriot mask. I wore it to like a 4th of July party. I had that like a very patriotic polo with like an eagle cresting, and it was like the American flag.
American Eagle.
And then no, it was from Kohl's.
Nice.
And then I had American flag swim trunks, and I wore the Patriot mask. And I did a cannonball into a pool, and then I realized I didn't really know anybody there, and I left.
I have a lot of stories like that.
Yeah.
Well,
So 99.
Yeah, 99.
1999. Picture it. 10 years after.
10 years after Andrews.
89. And next we're gonna do 2009. Just kidding.
We can.
I don't know if there was one that year, but 1999.
It was called The Bash.
You can see me in the audience, and my aunt and my dad on camera. It was cool. I didn't realize it until the last couple of years, which was neat. And this was at Baltimore Arena, and the poster is like infamous. It has Macho Man on it, not in his heyday, and I want to say Sting just because I think you're gonna look it up.
It's the one with the TV remote being crushed.
Yeah, they had another one that was like Macho Man's face because he was big at the time. But this card started out with Hack, who was Sandman.
Okay.
For WCW version. This was not a good time during WCW. Versus...
Are you talking about this one?
Yeah. Oh, it's Kevin Nash also on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the VHS cover. Yeah.
This is Hack versus Brian Knobbs in a hardcore match. Hack wins.
Okay.
Doesn't seem great, right?
No.
It doesn't get better. Next, Van Hammer versus Mikey Whipwreck.
Who is Van Hammer?
You know Van Hammer?
No, I didn't watch
You would
WCW.
know him if you saw him.
I think he's from here, actually.
He is from Hebron, Maryland, yeah.
You know Mikey Whipwreck, right?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Well, he was in WCW, and everybody probably forgot.
This is when, like, WCW and WWF were, like, buying, like, ECW guys. Like, left and right, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, this is right before WCW was done. Maybe, 2 years before?
Mm-hmm.
Year and a half before? And this was right after Owen Hart died. I want to say, like,
okay, so
2 days after Owen Hart died.
So you were hacking on me, or my pick of 89 for being on July 23rd.
When
Yours was
this?
on June 13th.
Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah.
They need to really plan these, like, better
Yeah.
to close to July 4th.
Yeah.
We had Buff Bagwell versus Disco Inferno. Wow. I bet that was a great match. But here's a good one. The No Limit Soldiers.
Conan and Ray.
Unmasked
Ray.
And you know who was there? Master P.
Yeah, because he's the head of No Limit Records and the No
Fucking
Limit Soldiers.
crazy. He was in
Yeah.
Baltimore just hanging out. And then, yeah, they defeated Kurt Hennig and Bobby Duncan Jr.
This is the West Texas rednecks. You can't spell rap without crap.
Yeah.
Or you can't spell crap without
the
rap.
rap.
Yeah.
I hate rap.
Yeah.
Fucking Ernest Miller defeated Horace
the
Hogan.
cat.
See, I like the cat. I liked his persona. He was
So
fun.
Ernest Miller.
Yeah.
You know, the cat.
He was acted like he was James Brown.
Hold on, let me look this guy
I
up.
think James Brown was at a pay-per-view once.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. Yes. Okay.
With Sonny Ono was his
the
manager. at the
worst
time.
manager in the history of wrestling.
He's
Not
the
great.
best. What are you talking about? He's so bad. I love it.
So bad.
And Horace Hogan. Who fucking cares?
It's Hulk Hogan's nephew, so you better put some respect on that name.
Yeah, right. And then we had Ric Flair defeated Roddy Piper.
By disqualification.
Yeah, but that's
He also
like
had
a
Arn
huge
Anderson
fucking
in
match.
Asia, their version of China.
Oh yeah, not China.
Asia.
Yeah, they weren't fooling anybody.
But it was even like how China had the Y, it's ASYA.
Jeez.
Probably just some bodybuilder.
Asya.
They had Rick Steiner defeated Sting.
In a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Also, Rick Steiner going over Sting. Pretty crazy at this time. I feel like Sting is...
What is Rick Steiner up to? His brother's still out there spewing math problems.
The Steiners are actually gonna tag team together in a match coming up.
Really?
Yep.
Where?
In like Tennessee or some shit.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Oh, so we're going to have to
MCW.
find like a YouTube of it.
Yeah. It's
Damn.
probably gonna be awful.
I bet you Rick Steiner's still good. He was good back in the day. I liked him. His, like, bulldog persona.
He always had that.
It was cool. Then we had the Jersey Triad, which was one of my favorite stables as a kid. DDP, Chris Kanyon, Bam Bam Bigelow.
Bam, bam.
Defeated Chris Benoit, Perry Saturn.
Your favorite wrestler.
I love Bam Bam.
In a
Bam Bam
WCW
was
Tag
great.
Team Championship match. So they won the championship, the Jersey Triad.
Wild.
Yes.
And then Kevin Nash defeated Randy Savage.
With Gorgeous George Medusa and Miss Madness.
Miss Madness, who is Molly Holly.
Oh, dang. You're right. Okay.
Crazy.
And then Gorgeous George was married to Doyle from the Misfits.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. She was in Gorgeous Frankenstein with him. It was very bad.
Huh.
She was just up there dancing on a pole like it was like a mini Rob Zombie concert.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
The only thing I really remember from this pay-per-view was a kid in front of me who was maybe like 12 or 13 at the time drinking beer.
Sounds
And-
about right.
Yeah, and I was like, Dad, can I have a beer? My dad's like, no. But this kid was like cussing and drinking beer.
You're like 9, and you're like, Dad, I want a beer, and he's like, no.
Yeah.
As he's like smoking his fucking Marlboro Lights,
Smoking Marlboro Lights,
and like drinking a beer.
Yep. I don't know if you could smoke inside at that time.
Yes, you could. You 100% could, because my mom went through an entire fucking pack of Cools when we were at Super Brawl 5 because she was like falling asleep because she got up at 4 to go to work, and then came home, and then we left for the light rail around like 5. And then got there because
it's a weird time.
Because I remember, because before WCW matches, because it was owned by Turner, they would show like on their version of the Titantron, like the big screens. Like I remember, like they showed like 4 episodes of Captain Planet to like before the dark matches started.
Huh.
But I was there in a Hulk Hogan tank top. I had my Hulk Hogan foam finger, and I have my program, which is somewhere in a fucking steel like container on my brother's property. Yes, my brother has property. He has a farm that he grows broken cars on.
1999, not a great year for WCW.
No, not at all.
Yeah, there's nothing to write home about.
You want to go to 2009 and then 2019?
I do not know anything about 2009, so I'm ready.
I remember the poster for 2009.
I don't have a Great American Bash, but I have the the Stars and Stripes Challenge from 4th of July '93.
Let's go for it, dude.
No clue what it is.
That's what I sent you guys. The Yokozuna Slam Challenge.
Oh yeah, that was the one that was on an aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
Huh.
They promoted it to be like, who's going to take down the evil Yokozuna
Japanese
man, right?
Who was not Japanese.
Slightly racist. And they had a bunch of people come out to try to slam. I'm going to see if I can find out who they had.
Did they have like servicemen go out?
Yeah, so they had it on like an aircraft carrier. It was on the USS Intrepid, and they had 1,000 people showed up, and so they had Tatanka came out and tried, and everyone tried to body slam him, and no one could do it. Crush, Bob Backlund, Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner, Macho Man. They all failed, and then they had NFL players come out, a bunch of no one I've ever heard of.
Where was this ship?
New York City.
Oh, was it? I was going to say, I see a city in the background.
Because the thing is that was a challenge by Mr. Fuji and Yokozuna. It looks like it would, like, because it says live on the 4th of July, but, like, was this taped? Like, was it... Obviously it was taped because they have lower thirds and everything, but, like... There's no, like, pay-per-view. There's no Wikipedia. There's just, like, a Fanopedia.
This must have just been, like, a cable special.
It was a cable special. They did it as, like, it aired early in the morning.
Oh.
But this was, like, kind of a big thing because this was when Hulk Hogan had, like, left. So Hulk Hogan was initially supposed to be the one to do it. Because it's 4th of July and it's Hulk Hogan and he slams big people.
Yep.
But he was gone. He left. He went to Japan or whatever.
Wow.
When he said that the IWGP Heavyweight Championship was worth more than the WWF Championship, and that was right after he won it after body slamming Yokozuna after that one WrestleMania. It was WrestleMania 9. Yeah, so this is after
he
that,
lost the title to Yokozuna. Like, it's when King of the Ring.
Yeah,
he lost it, and then he left TV for a while.
Yeah.
So then that's when they brought in the fucking helicopter with Lex Luger dressed in his fucking red, white, and blue Zumbas, and he became a face that day. He was a heel. He was like the narcissist. He had like all the mirrors.
Yeah, because he had the same character in
WCW,
WCW, where he was always like full of vanity. Like they used to bring the mirror out, and he would pose in front of the mirror. And
then weirdly enough, they gave that exact same gimmick to Shawn Michaels a couple years later.
Mm-hmm.
Of the mirrors and shit?
Mirrors and stuff.
Is that why he had mirrors on his like pants and stuff?
So this is when they started the Lex Express.
Gotcha. Which they Roman Reigns Lex Luger into our lives.
They shoved him down. He landed fucking helicopter. Came in, slammed him, and...
Yeah, he's just in like blue...
so
dude, he's just in like, dude, he's literally wearing like this and blue jeans.
Yeah.
And cowboy boots. Like
he's just one of us. I get it.
Yeah, he's one of us, guys. Yeah, you can throw that up there.
Yeah.
The Rockstar Gary reflects on WWF Monday Night Raw 7/5/93, and that's when they showed it. So yeah. But yeah, the Stars and Stripes. Yeah, it was crazy.
Interesting. I can't.
So yeah, WWE The Bash 2009. No, I'm just kidding.
No, this is like tribute for the troops before. Tribute
Yeah,
for
it
the
was. It was
troops.
interesting. 'Cause I remember watching it as a kid.
It's kind of cool. I mean, this is a good gimmick when you're a kid to be like, oh
It
my
was
god.
because I mean I really did hate Yokozuna. Like
Yeah, you're
they,
told
they,
they
did
hate
they
him.
did a really good job at making him a bad guy.
Poor guy. He's so big and unhappy. Bash 2009.
Oh, I was just joking.
Oh no!
I'll pull it up.
You said it.
Okay, because they didn't have a
Let's
2019 because they brought it back in 2020 when AEW does Bash at the Beach.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So the Bash was a mix of the Great American Bash and the Bash at the Beach. It was June 28th, 2009 from Sacramento, California.
That's closer to the
At
4th.
the Arco Arena. It was 11,000 in attendance, or 11,946 in attendance, and it had 178,000 buys.
That's pretty good. And 178,000. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. In the dark match, we had R-Truth defeated Shelton Benjamin.
That's probably a good match.
In the second match, you had Tommy Dreamer, who was the ECW champion, defeated Christian, Finlay, Jack Swagger, and Mark Henry. So far, I know who all of these people are. And then you had Rey Mysterio defeated Chris Jericho, title versus mask for the Intercontinental Championship.
Doesn't seem like a bad card so far.
No, not at
Yeah.
all. Dolph Ziggler defeated the Great Khali, no disqualification.
Oh, there you go.
There we
Ziggler
go.
was around in 2009.
What?
Ziggler's been around since like the
Yeah.
90s.
Ziggler was a
Jesus.
member of the Pep Squad.
Spirit Squad, yeah.
The Spirit Squad. Yeah.
I knew that. Nikki, something I want to say his name was. His real name's Nick, right?
Yeah.
Nick something.
It's Nick. What?
He's
his-
related to that other guy in
the,
AEW.
The guy, his brother wrestles for AEW, and they
Yeah.
shout each other out on TV. And then again, bringing back up double duty on Great American Bash. Chris Jericho and the Edge defeated the Colons.
And the Edge. You
from
too?
Yeah. Chris Jericho and Edge defeated the Colons, Carlito and Primo, champions, and the Legacy, Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase in a triple threat match for the tag team champions. That's when Chris Jericho and Edge became champions. That's crazy.
This sounds good.
Michelle McCool with Alicia Fox. Bet she was fucking hammered. Defeated Melina for the women's championship, the WWE Women's Championship. That's when they brought
Alicia
it back.
Fox was back in 2009 too.
Yeah.
This is
She
crazy.
was 23. Yeah.
She looks good for her age. She
yeah.
still looks good now.
Jeff Hardy defeated CM Punk by disqualification for the World Heavyweight Championship. I remember that now. I know which one this is. John Cena defeated The Miz by submission, just a singles match, for like a cooldown 5 minute for 39 second. And then you had Randy Orton defeated Triple H 2-1 in a 3 stages of hell match for the WWE Championship.
Okay.
Stage 1,
I remember this.
singles match. Stage 2, won by Orton. Stage 2, Falls Count Anywhere match, won by Triple H. Stage 3, stretcher match, won by Orton. In 21 minutes, 23 seconds.
Stupid fucking
and then you had an
stretcher match.
ECW champion, Scramble interim champions for the night. You had Jack Swagger pinned Finlay in a roll-up. You had Finlay pinned Jack Swagger.
What was this?
These are the This is the ECW championship was treated like the 24/7 championship. So here's throughout the night.
I did not watch it this time, so I have no fucking clue.
This is how it was back in the. Thanks, Crash Holly.
So it was like the hardcore championship.
More
Yeah.
or less, yeah.
Yeah, so you had Jack Swagger pinned Finlay in a roll-up match. You had Finlay pinned Jack Swagger with a Celtic Cross. You had Mark Henry pinned Tommy Dreamer with the World's Strongest Slam. Jack Swagger pinned Mark Henry with a Swagger Bomb. And then the winner was Tommy Dreamer DDT'd Christian.
So that happened at the end of the card?
No, that was it.
That was the first match?
No, that it's under the card. That's throughout the night that happened.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
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 That's fucking dumb.
Yeah, I don't like that. You can tell why I didn't
You
watch it
wasted
this
my
time.
time.
I was also 21 when this came out, so I was too busy getting fucking hammered and going to the bar and playing hardcore shows in basements while high. Duh. Death of a Thane, heard of it?
I have a CD somewhere.
Yeah.
I think in general, wrestling has always done a decent job of trying to get over the whole like American gimmick.
Hoorah!
It's an easy pop for
Yeah.
certain areas of this country.
Well, yeah.
Like the tribute to the troops things always did fantastic.
That's when Joey Styles knocked out JBL at a tribute for the troops.
Yeah, on purpose.
I watched that thing this morning because JBL would always get fucking hammered on those trips. He just thought of them as vacations.
I'm sure that's how they treated a lot of like the European trips too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting driven around and get to get fucked up. That's what we did when we were in Europe.
Yep. Drinking Aldi Jägermeister.
Oh yeah. You're right though. They probably, I mean, they did a good job at treating the 4th of July as like this big fucking event.
I mean, some of the biggest, I guess, like feuds in the history of wrestling were like Hulk Hogan or Sergeant Slaughter versus some evil force from
Cena.
Yeah, Cena, exactly. Like they gave him the Marine kind of thing.
After he did the Marine movie.
Yeah, I wonder if Vince McMahon really likes the 4th of July or he knows his demographics very well. Like, does Vince McMahon have a really good 4th of July party?
Because there are definitely dudes, like, who, like, for example, when I got back into wrestling, like, ECW was on the Sci-Fi Network, like, all that kind of stuff. I can't pinpoint exactly, but I remember I was playing. So, like I said, like, throughout the years, like, we always order WrestleMania. I stayed with the games, like, because you could get them for, like, you get, like, last year's game for $5 at GameStop. And I was like, that's good enough for me. But I remember we were playing a show at a bar, and they had it on in the corner. And they were just, like, every fucking dude in this, like, white trash bar was just, like, pinned to the fucking TV, including me. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like once a wrestling fan, always a wrestling fan too. If you're in a bar and you see it on, you're gonna be like,
you're gonna go, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, and like even like when we would have it on at like Sticky Rice, like people would come up and be like, oh man, I haven't watched it since like like Goldberg, and we're like, Goldberg's wrestling tonight. They're like, Goldberg's wrestling. Yo, honey, we're staying. Goldberg's wrestling tonight.
Yeah, 20 years from now, you'll still be saying Goldberg's wrestling tonight.
But yeah, so I also like that the Great American Bash was like brought back. So like during the pandemic era, which we are now, I believe is over. Like the Thunderdome era, like the Daly's Place era.
I don't know when they leave the Thunderdome.
The Thunderdome is this Friday. SmackDown is the last Thunderdome, and then they're doing Money in the Bank, and then they're doing Hitting the Road, Jack.
Don't you come back?
No mo. But I feel like it's really cool that AEW has...
I got breaking news.
What's up?
Oh, shit.
Joey Chestnut just broke his own record by eating 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
What was his record before?
I have no idea.
How many hot dogs do you think you could eat?
Joey Chestnut is still eating hot dogs?
Still eating hot dogs.
Dude, that guy's never going to stop eating hot dogs.
Remember when Kobayashi was the champion?
He's only 37 years old.
I know, but I'm
That's
just
crazy.
saying he's done it every
forever.
year for...
That was good breaking news.
He's
I
been
thought it
doing
was
it
going to be
for
wrestling
60 years.
related.
Yeah.
Not wrestling related.
I got the
like very emotional thing. Like
I just got the ESPN update.
So
Fucking ESPN.
Yeah.
I need to fix my ESPN app and like actually like set it up to do that. Because I miss now it's just like here's news about the Jets and I'm like nobody cares. So I like how AEW has always had like their 4. You buy these pay-per-views, and then they had essentially 8 like monthly free on TV pay-per-views.
Who?
AEW. Oh. So like they always had like Bash at the Beach, the Rock and Rager at Sea, like that type. So for example, like this Wednesday is Road Rager, and essentially it's just an AEW Dynamite, but all the belts are on the line. Like
it's awesome because I mean, a normal working person can afford a monthly pay-per-view.
That's why the network
$50.
was such a great deal in Peacock for now.
Yeah, and AEW just doesn't have that library yet.
Yeah, and then they have it in the UK through Fight because there was like a big deal with like the television deal got fucked up. So if you use a VPN, you can watch Dynamite when they're like when I'm watching it at my friend's house pirated allegedly. they'll be like, and we'll be right back. Don't miss this. We're going to picture-in-picture. On the UK one, it doesn't go to picture-in-picture, and they're still commentating and like still going
nice.
and like stuff like that. So it's really cool. And then when they're at like the commercial pay-per-views, like it's just like they have like the cheerleaders coming out and doing like Nitro Girl stuff. It's like very cool.
I think they'll get there with a network of some sort. It's just a lot of infrastructure and
like,
money to.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it too, like Impact has a version of it through Fight. New Japan has theirs, which everybody got when Chris Jericho was wrestling. What's his face?
Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega, yeah.
But I don't think TNA or does. It's still pay-per-view, right? It's not like you don't get it for free.
It's still through Fight,
yeah.
But you get their weekly show for free on their Twitch and through the Fight. But if you pay like for Ring of Honor as Honor Club, like MCW as Rage TV, like they've had that for years though. You know, it's just like really cool that they're bringing back these older pay-per-views and like breathing new life into them, so that a kid who is like 13 or 14 that's watching NXT Great American Bash might stumble across like a Great American Bash 89 or 2009 or 99 on the network. Or
I hope
whatever.
they don't stumble about 99. Just go back farther.
Yeah, but that's what I've been doing, is just that kind of stuff. Yeah, so Road Rager this Wednesday, Great American Bash this Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
It might be okay. There's only like 4 matches.
Yeah. Let's look it up.
That is not much of a card.
I looked up Joey Chestnut.
While you're looking that up, we do have the giveaway right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Let's talk about that while you're looking it up.
If you want a chance to win a basic The Fiend figure, a basic Big E figure, or the Big 5 pay-per-view box. Is that what it's called?
Are we doing? Are we giving away 3?
We're giving away 3 of them?
No, I said because you said and or instead of and.
No, what's the video?
No,
oh yeah, the
what's
video,
the video
is the Great 5.
The Great.
I'm gonna
5.
try to find a video at my parents' house and bring it over. I have a couple WF challenges from like the 90s, which is like just a collection of dark matches.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Did you tape them?
No, they used to sell them. It's Coliseum home video thing.
Fuck yeah. Well, then we'll try to have those.
Yeah, so
here.
on June 13th,
this is
on June 13th, WWE announced the 9th Great American Bash under the WWE, 23rd overall, will return as a special episode of NXT. It's hosted at the Capitol Wrestling Center, which
Full
is
Sail.
a performance center.
Full Sail. Yeah.
Actually, the CWC. Oh, it will not be. Oh no, it will be held at the CWC, hosted at the WWE Performance Center.
Cruiserweight Classic?
No, the Capitol
I'm
Wrestling
kidding.
Center is at the Performance Center.
Gotcha.
And then it's a Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole singles match. MSK, your dudes,
My dude.
versus Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher for the NXT Championship. The Way, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell versus Io Shirai and Zoe Stark for the Tag Team Championship. LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes for the $1 Million Championship. If Grimes loses, he will become Knight's butler.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And then Karrion Kross
promo
with
the
Scarlett
other day.
Bordeaux versus Johnny Gargano with Austin Theory for the NXT Championship. I think Karrion Kross is going to lose.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get called up, right?
Dude, I still haven't watched that main event with him and what's his face, Bronson Reed. It's on
good.
It's on Hulu. Yeah. So if you're ever wondering where your favorite mid Carter is, it's on Tuesdays on Hulu on main event 1 hour. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're giving away so Keystone is thrown in the Great 5.
Yes, our
And
good
then,
friend Keystone
We're
Retro.
doing these 2. Nick's gonna try and find a tape. I might
find
throw
something. Yeah.
You know what? Let's toss in one of these bad boys. Let's do.
Whoa.
You know what? We have 2 Andrades, but these were gifts, so we can't give them away. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I
we'll
gotta
throw
do some
something else
emotional
in.
touching of these.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
luck.
where are we at now?
Oh, we are at an hour.
Okay. Well, I guess that's a good time to call it.
Yeah.
Well,
happy 4th.
Yeah.
Happy 4th. Don't blow your fingies off. Eat some hot dogs, some ham burgers, and drink some twisted tea.
I am not eating. I ate so much yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot of people
Yeah.
did their
I
celebrations
didn't do
yesterday.
shit.
Yeah, a lot of people did. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, bye.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, the Young and the Restless! Austin 316 says I just